Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my Beyond the Gates recap, the 14th through the 18th. Now, let me just say this real quick. Nothing much was going on in these episodes. However, the thing that caught my attention the most is how Naomi backed down to her father, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So let's get into the recap. So we open up the episode and we have Bill and Naomi just tells her dad, look, I'm going to back off. We're going to take the settlement or whatever. Now, here's my assessment of this. Foolishness. I wanted to see them battle it out in court. And that's that on that. But it seemed like she was punking out because she think her daddy is sick. And then, with what Danny told her, she might be biting off more than she could chew. But if we're going to see this high power black female lawyer, I would like to see her in court one day. I know Bill's history. We heard Bill's history. Can we know something about seeing them battle it out in court and know what she can do? That would be nice. And by the way, her and Jacob as a couple, about like Ashley and Derek for me. Boring as hell. Give them some spice. I want to see some energy between the two of them. There's another couple that don't have much chemistry. And plus they like almost, even though you see them in bed all the time, it's almost like they're two ships passing in the wind. I know because she's a lawyer and he's a cop. But put them together and give them some zhuzha, some va-va-va-boom. The only person that seems to have va-va-va-boom on the show is DANI and Mama Anita. Let's give the rest of the characters some get up and go. Now we get to Tyrell and Pops and Dad. Now I think Dad is Martin and Pops is Schmidt. Maybe because it's being more relatable. Okay. I am so tired of this dynamic where Martin is so damn controlling. He doesn't seem like really like a Dupree. I mean, like Papa Dupree. Papa Dupree is kind and gentle to his spouse, and he just like he wants to run Smitty or some shit. But maybe he's more like his father than he thinks. But anyway, we back to the bullying. I love that they're exploring bullying, especially by this adopted child that's black. They adopted 2 black children, and then they're gay. So this is a good storyline, a good arc for the show. And, the fact that he's a teenager and he's embarrassed by the fact that his dad is this high-powered representative and he's trying to pull string in this public school, but he don't want to leave public school and go to private school because that makes him look like he's just like a little daddy's boy and daddy is protecting him. And nobody wants that, especially when you're a teenager. So now we're with Danny and Andre. And baby, when I tell you, another thing, I'm enjoying them exploring or going down the road that Danny may be becoming an alcoholic. Let's get into it. Let's get into this storyline. Let's see her drinking more. I know we see her drinking a lot, but let's see her drinking more. Let's see her like with Miss Chancellor. Let's see her slowly going into, or Brooke, going into the throes of alcohol, becoming a different person as she drinks. I know that we're going to get there because it seems like it's going slow, but let's see something outside of Andre maybe suspecting that she is becoming a big drinker. Let's see maybe Bill finding out, or Haley, and maybe Haley being the one that she's going to end up having to lean on, like with Brooke and Stephanie. I know these are 2 different shows. Danny was on Bold and the Beautiful, but what I'm saying is let's explore that same storyline type. Not exactly the same, but similar. And the same thing with Miss Chancellor. I'm not saying that she should be like Miss Chancellor and go around there and take out her husband in a drunken stupid rage. but or even like Karen Huber and go to jail. I'm just saying, let's get deeper into what it's like to be, or what it's like for a breakup to cause alcoholism. Now, Andre sees her, practicing on her little runway deal, and he comes to her rescue because she's called him over for them to have some hotty toddy time. Okay, and I want to see what it's like. Maybe Naomi finding out about him having an affair with her. I want to see that. Somebody needs to find out about this affair. So now we get to Vanessa at the club, right? She's with Diego. Diego's ready to tune her up, and she turns him down because she thinking about Joey's ass. Wrong road. I don't like the way this storyline is going. Like I said, it wasn't really a good week because I like to see more of the dynamics with the black folks. But, it was okay for what it was. And there was a rating dip. That's because, just honestly, let's be real. We want a better representation of ourselves on TV. And this show was supposed to give us that. We have Anita and Mark. We have Anita and Vernon. But what else? Like I said, we have this mixed gay couple. Then we have this mixed straight couple, and Vanessa and Dougie Doug. And then we have Joey, another white person. And then we have, it's just like, it's coming around this for me. It's just like I said, I want to see them as side characters, period. Just like we are on their show where they dominate. I don't care how long Lily and Devon have been on the show. They will never be leading characters. Eric Brain will always be the leading actor on their show. And what I'm so glad that happened back in the day, a while back, is that Michelle, and I can't think of her last name, she applied to be a leading actress in the daytime soap world, Emmy world, and she won. But she's not on the show anymore. Talking about bringing her back. I think her name is Michelle Morgan. But besides her, who has been in a leading role where they could say they can apply? Every time somebody black is on these soap operas, they apply on the daytime Emmys to be supported. When Neil won, supported. When Shamar Moore won, supporting younger actor. Okay? So let them be supported in the background. Playing in the background. But we got this main story arc around Vanessa and Dougie Doug. And if you really want to know the truth, Vanessa's not that great of an actress. There's that. And then Dougie Doug always looking like he's damn surprised. Wow. Anyway, he's taking on more surgeries than he can handle. And Shanice is concerned about him. So she lets Vanessa know that he is wearing himself thin. He's trying to throw himself into business because he's going through all this shit with Joey. Let's get into April 16th episode. So now we have DANI. She's at the club and she runs into old Haley. And after she gets her some good living from Andre, she decides that she wants to call a truth with Haley. So she sits at the table with Haley and she gives her some conversation. And I still can't think of a friend. I guess her name is Jen. I can't remember her name. But anyway, she comes in and they give a high five after making sure that Haley gets served in the club. But, not without DANI throwing some shade her way. But little does she know that little heifer may just be carrying around a bill load. And I bet you she really turns to the bottom when she finds out Haley may be pregnant. Yeah, her name is Pamela. I had to check my notes for that. Her best friend that they, slap five, not slap five, but, do the little finger thing together. And that's another thing. How come she couldn't have a black best friend from back in the day that's doing all her dirty work with her? But anyway, she's trying to help DANI get back into modeling so they can, get the runway together and, help her like she helped her back in the day. So I'll remind you now, we are still planning this anniversary party. So we got to get into this anniversary party because that's going to be the way Leslie is going to strike, right? So hopefully next week we will see that. So Naomi has regrets, right? And then once again, her and Jacob in the bed and they have their tide because she spills ice cream. Boy, that was wacky, dacky, tacky, boring. Why? Back in the day, when we used to watch soaps, we would see product placement differently than when Coke was just cola. We never saw the names of brands of stuff. Tide, if they had Tide on there, you'd know what it was, but they'll have a sticker in front of it. So the name brand wouldn't show. Just like even on these reality shows today, on Bravo, you'll see that, you know what it is, but the product placement is not, advertising. But all of a sudden, they can advertise Procter & Gamble products on this show. We never saw that in the past, but that was really cool. Let me go do, after we have sex, and drop off damn ice cream in the bed. I have it. Let's go get a Tide clean and clean our clothes with the great effects of Tide. But anyway, Naomi is having issues, wondering, was Haley ever really my friend? Do you think she was? Because she was always asking about my dad. She always seemed like she had, now that I'm looking back on it, almost like she almost had ulterior motive. You think she saw that good lifestyle that old Bill was providing, and she wanted some of it. Remember, she's a street hoe. So being that Shanice's concerned about Doug, Vanessa goes to the hospital and she tells him that she's loved him for her whole life and she sees things differently now, and she knows that even though the twins have left, that there may be some issues that's going on with their marriage, and she wants to fix them and she wants to get things back where they used to be. There ain't no way you gonna do that with Joey's ass in the picture, because he wants some of you, girl. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. So apparently Doug has been making bets at the job. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, they do it all the time. They even do it at like little offices where I worked before. You may put in little money together in a little pot, buy a lottery ticket and such and sort. So this is sort of like what this is. But that's not good for old Doug, because Doug is into the outer world of gambling. So he's always with, I bet you I can. So he tells other doctors that wants to get him in this little pool thing that he's trying to cut back. But see, if he steps one foot into this, even if this one is more innocent, of course, he'll be right back at Joey's casino, which is what Joey is looking for anyway. So while we're planning for Cat's party, because instead of having the anniversary dinner, why don't I just throw in a damn random ass party for Cat? We'll do that instead of getting right into the anniversary dinner. All of a sudden, we now know that it's Cat's birthday. And, of course, Eva is feeling some kind of way. And I would be too, knowing that I am the outside daughter. But Cat's plan is to have a bigger picture for this purse line. Now, don't get me wrong between her and Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Cat is ambitious. This is very cute for her, but the way she goes about certain things, it makes you think that she is the spoiled little rich girl that gets on everybody's nerve with the cool, down-to-earth parents. She is the epitome of the spoiled rich girl, sort of like she can be like a Paris Hilton or a Kim Kardashian type. But at the same time, her family wants to bring her back down to earth because her head is always in the clouds thinking she better than folks. And that right there makes it look bad on them because they are, the family that wants people to understand that they are out there doing the work, trying to help, trying to be more out there for the community, build that community because, the white people wouldn't let them in behind the gates. So they built their own legacy and went beyond the gates, but built it in a gated community, Fairmount Crest. But it's all those Caucasian people living over there and on the show. But that's neither here nor there. Now, mind you, that's what it was built for. To have an upper echelon black community behind the gate. Black community. But Doug fell in love with Vanessa in high school and married her and brought her over there in Fairmount Crest. So now we get back to Smitty and Mark. And Samantha just lets them know, Dad's back the fuck up, okay? Tyrell can handle himself. Now, Tyrell is fine as he can be for a young, supposedly teenager, but we know he's damn grown. But here's the deal. Let him handle this himself. Dads, y'all got to quit coming to our rescue every time something happens. Now, why we need the protection of our parents. Don't get it twisted. But I try my best to let my children resolve their own issues unless it's just something that's beyond their control. Like when I saw my baby getting dragged out there in the grass that day. That was different. You're not going to drag my baby across the grass. Okay? But at the same time, and I know how Martin must feel with him having a black eye, coming home having a black eye. But you only intervene in certain instances when it's really necessary. And normally, when it's a male-on-male thing, they usually can handle it. But what do y'all think? This is what I want to talk about the bullying. Are you on the bully or the bullied side? Because a lot of times these days, instead of you allowing yourself to understand that bullying is just like a part of school. And what I used to do to my bullies is I used to ignore them. Excuse me. But you do get to a point where you get tired. Okay? And I have done some things that I'm not exactly proud of to my bullies, Like, I get tired and I beat the fuck out of them. Like that type of thing. Or try to. Or fight them back. All of the above. But these children are literally going out, booting up schools over something that they have to understand from now is still a natural process. Even though we've tried to pull bullying out of school, it is what it is. And it's a no tolerance policy for bullying. But will there ever come a time where it can be completely eradicated? I don't think so. What do y'all think about that? Oh, by the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Now, let's get on down to Friday's episode, and we're going to end here because that was Thursday's episode. So, while we're at Kat's party, conveniently, I'm so sick of Eva accidentally coming around because she forgot this and forgot that. I'm beginning to see where Kat is coming from. So, Eva amazingly forgets something else. And she comes to Kat's party, and Kat looking at her like, you kind of invading my space. Every time I turn around, there you are. And I know that's right. But Kat didn't have to go so far. Eva was talking to Tomas, and I think Tomas is attracted to Eva as well. But the thing about it is, she is low on the totem pole as far as class and society goes. And, Kat since he's trying to climb up the ladder, that would be more the Marion type. But fun and outgoing, he's attracted to that and evil. But now, mind you, Leslie is still over there hatching up a plan. So don't forget that, Eva is feeling sad, so he decides to throw her a birthday party. Like, are they born on the same day too? No, she knows how to rope Eva in to make sure that she knows that she's always been there for her. But all of this is manipulation to me as far as what it goes with Leslie, Dana, and all her other aliases ass. And Lulu. Don't forget Lulu. How can we forget the nurse Lulu? How is she moving in all these damn places and nobody knows who she is but Ted? But that's neither here nor there. That all makes sense. That girl calls Eva trash and tells her it's time to take out the trash. So the episode ends and they decide to take a celebration on to the party. They're supposed to be doing some karaoke, and we're going to see if Anita is going to sing. That, my friends, is the end of my episodes recap of Beyond the Gates. Come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Oh, by the way, before I close, I forgot to say that Joey is definitely hustling frontwards, not backwards, trying to get Dougie Doug back in that casino, because now he is adding monies on to the monies that he borrowed. And I know Dougie is not that naive to believe that a casino owner would just, hey, I'm just loaning you this money for fun. And they wasn't going to be ballooning interest on it. So drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think about this whole gambling direction. Tell me what you think about, just be honest about it. Are you okay with all these interracial relationships on here? Are you okay with them being in these interracial relationships, or them being in the forefront? Like, I guess what it is just like with me and black sororities and fraternities. The black sororities and fraternities happily let others in, Caucasian and other, into the sorority and fraternities. But, when we go over there, it's a different story. And so I guess I kind of feel like it's the same thing with us in this soap. I mean, we're very welcoming when it comes to, when I see black folks getting rejected at every turn to get into these sororities and fraternities, and then as soon as someone who is of another race decides to join, they don't get the same pushback as other black folks even. So I'm just saying, do you think that it's okay that we are such a welcoming people in these types of things, or like when we get something, we welcome them faster than they welcome us, especially to their exclusive clubs and things like that? I mean, we had to literally fight, and that's what Vernon does and did to get into their things. That's why we built our own, and then we built our own and they won't join. We just, hey, come on in. Or is that what true integration is supposed to be about? Us being more welcoming and showing them that love is love, and we are not like them. They not like us. Okay? But just drop down in the comments and tell me what you think about that. Like, comment, subscribe again to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. And share the video, because sharing is caring. And when I tell you sharing is caring, I mean that literally. Just you hitting that little share button and sharing it to other websites and other social media sites. Trust me when I tell you that helps my channel. We are trying to get to 2,000. Y'all, we just teeter-tottering on the edge. Tell somebody about this channel. Talk to them and say, hey, about this new up and coming, which I'm not new. Yeah, I've been at this almost 2 years. And I'm seeing little growth. And then when I've seen a big surge in subscriber, have my ebbs and flows, just like with anything else. But just help your girl out, help me get to that 2,000 subscribers, and those watch hours, uh, and all that. Trust me, I greatly appreciate it. I definitely greatly appreciate the ones of you who have already subscribed. I can't leave you guys out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces.